Oh man, what a week. What an incredible week. I've been away from YouTube for 8-9 days. You guys probably didn't notice too much. We had videos going up on the channel while I was away, but I'm finally back. I am now a married man, and this guy is going to be leaving Arsenal. So I'm very happy right now. I missed quite a lot of opportunities to upload a transfer video, updating you guys on what's going on. There's been quite a lot of big deals going around, so today I'm going to try my best to cover most of the really big, important deals. And of course, we'll be talking about this guy over there. I can't really stretch more than that, my camera cuts off, but Pepe to Arsenal, it is pretty much deal done as I'm making this video. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. This video is brought to you by FOTMob, the best football app to have on your phone. Free as well on iOS and Android. It keeps you up to date with all of the scores, all of the latest news, and of course, most importantly, right now, as we're approaching the end of the transfer window, the latest transfer news as well. Now, I've got a lot to talk about in this video, and I don't want to spoil some of them in case you've seen them already, so I'm not going to scroll down, but this app will keep you up to date. It will send you notifications, if you want them, of all of the latest deals. You can follow specific teams, specific leagues, whatever you really want to do. It's completely customizable, and did I mention it? It's free. I mean, it's just brilliant. So make sure you download it. Thanks again to them for sponsoring this series. And now let's talk about the first deal. Pepe, come on, come to Arsenal. There are literally pictures of this guy in an Arsenal shirt in front of the green screen, getting pictures taken of him and all of those videos that they then release when they announce the deal. There's a picture of him getting an Arsenal bag handed to him outside of some building in London. I mean, it's a done deal. It's just Arsenal are taking their sweet time to announce it. Reportedly, the fee will be £73 million, which of course is a club record for us by quite some distance. But really, if you think about it, in today's market, 73 million doesn't even sound like that much. But trust me, as an Arsenal fan, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree, this is unheard of for our club, and I'm so excited to see us invest money in a young player that honestly looks truly world class. He may not be the youngest player, okay, he's not 19 or 20, but he's so close to hitting that prime part of his career when he's 25 to 30. Trust me when I say this. Even though Arsenal is going to be a bit of a stepping stone for this guy, he may leave in 4 or 5 seasons, but while we have him, he is going to be incredible, and he will be worth double, maybe even triple by the time he leaves. Because I've seen a lot of Pepe throughout the last 12 months. He, of course, has had an incredible season at LEAO, and he's been linked with the biggest clubs in the world. Somehow, we've managed to attract him. Raul, congratulations. Edu, congratulations. However we got this deal done without Champions League football, I just don't know. But I think with a signing like this, we really will be pushing for Champions League football. And just imagine, okay, I very much doubt it, but imagine if we get Zaha as well. 2 Ivorians on the wings, both lethal in front of goal. I mean, it's just exciting times as an Arsenal fan, because it hasn't been the greatest window so far, up until, of course, we got Ceballos, we got Saliba. Both of those deals have been confirmed, and now we're waiting on Pepe. I mean, it's incredible. Just announce it, Arsenal. Announce the freaking deal. We have CUTRONE officially joining Wolves. He has left AC Milan. He's not happy, of course, with Piatek coming in, and he should be playing regularly at a team like AC Milan. So he's felt the need to leave. He's going to get first-team football at Wolves. You would hope so. Anyway, Wolves have an incredible attacking side and defensive side, to be fair. But I think he's going to slot in very nicely. I think he could be a very good player for the Premier League. But of course, this has started a bit of a knock-on effect. A lot of other players are now moving clubs. And honestly, it's not just Wolves and AC Milan involved. This is going to have a knock-on effect throughout many, many clubs. And we can go ahead and take a look at more strikers on the move very shortly. But I'm a fan of this move. I think he's going to do really well in the Premier League. I would expect minimum 15 goals from him this season if he starts most games, that is. But will he? Will he start most games? So the first knock-on effect deal is AC Milan, of course, replacing CUTRONE. They've gone with LEAO from Lille. Lille selling 2 players, potentially raising £100 million. It's unbelievable business, but this is a young Portuguese striker who had a very decent season. To be fair, Lille had a lot of very good performers last year, so it was always inevitable they would sell a couple and raise a nice amount of money. But AC Milan, of course, needed to bring in someone else, and they've gone with a young Portuguese player that certainly looks like he's got a lot of potential. And then, of course, to complete the merry-go-round, they have replaced, I say they, I mean Lille have replaced LEAO with Osimhen, I think his name is. I haven't added him into the video, but he's a young Nigerian striker who plays in the Belgian league, and he could be a very good player for the future as well. So one player moves, sets off 3 separate deals, and it's a bit of a merry-go-round, and we're going to see more of this later. Up next, we have AMIRI. I'm very surprised by this. Hoffenheim have quite a few good players, and they've sold a few of them. Joelinton, of course, has gone to Newcastle, but we have AMIRI moving to Leverkusen for £8.1 million, and I'm a little bit confused by this. AMIRI is a very creative midfielder, and I think he could do well in a lot of big clubs around Europe. And Leverkusen, of course, by no means are a small club, but I'm interested to see how this pans out. 8.1 million to me seems very, very low for a player of AMIRI's quality. So we will see how this goes down. I think Leverkusen have got themselves an absolute gem here. I really do. I like AMIRI a lot. And at less than 10 million, I'm surprised there wasn't a bit of a tug of war over him. Maybe there was. Maybe we had no idea what was going on in the background, and he chose to stay in the Bundesliga and go to Leverkusen. I'm pretty sure most people saw this deal cross the line, but of course, it is a big deal. It is GUEYE, Idrissa Gueye going to PSG from Everton. And now, of course, Everton are looking to bring in a midfielder. We will see what they do there. I think they're looking at Barmin, I think it might be, from Mainz. Good midfielder, by the way. But £28.8 million for a 29-year-old. It's good business for Everton. PSG, I've got to be honest, he's a good player. He's in his prime, but almost 30 million for a 29-year-old that arguably starts for PSG, but it's going to be touch and go. They've got some very good midfielders there. I don't know if he is going to start every game. You know, they've brought in some very good players. Paredes, for example, who plays in a similar position, but we will see how that goes. It's very good business from Everton, getting almost 30 million for a player that's kind of almost coming to the end of his prime years. Of course, he's still going to have 3, 4, 5 more years in him, but I don't know, it's a lot of money, and it doesn't surprise me that they let him go for that. And PSG they can piss money up the wall, who cares? Another midfielder on the move, we have Billing from Huddersfield. I don't think he's too popular with the Huddersfield fans right now. Apparently they aren't very pleased with him because he's been a little bit rude about this. I think he's kind of forced it through, even though Huddersfield really felt like they needed him. He's a young player that shows a lot of promise. He's massive. I think he's like 6'6". He's a very strong, polarizing figure. I mean, to come up against a midfielder like that, you don't actually see that too often. So that's definitely a quality that he has that some others don't. But Bournemouth have gone ahead and placed a bid of 14.85 million, and that has been accepted. Or I'm guessing the bid was 14 million and they've asked for 14.85, whatever the process was. Around 15 million to sign Billing, and it's a good deal for Bournemouth. I think he could be very good for them. Also joining Bournemouth, we have GROENEVELD. I've probably pronounced his name wrong. I believe he goes by another name sometimes as well. There's 2 names for this guy, but in FIFA at least, which I'm sure you guys will mostly recognise this name from, he's called GROENEVELD. He's joined from Club Brugge. He's gone to Bournemouth for 13.5 million. He's a left midfielder, can play on both wings really, can even play up top. And I've got a feeling this might be one of those kind of underrated deals. We might be seeing his name popping up in the news every now and again that he scored, or, you know, maybe he saved Bournemouth from relegation or something. There's something about this guy. I think he could be very good for Bournemouth. Now, let's talk about rumours. We have 2 Arsenal players that could be leaving in the next few days. 2 defenders, and you know who I'm going to be talking about in just a moment. But let's start with KOSCIELNY, our club captain, who refused to travel to America with us and do any of the pre-season games. It's a real shame. He's, I think, openly said to other players and people in football that he has no plans on playing for Arsenal again. And it's a real sad ending to what has been a very good, very, very good career at Arsenal for KOSCIELNY. He came here as a bit of a nobody, and he really turned into one of the best defenders in the league at times. And it's sad that it comes to this, but he has been linked with a move to Stade Rennais, not Saint. I couldn't fit Stade or Stade Rennais, so he could be on his way. He's going to France. I think that's going to be his end point, his end destination in his football career. He wants to go back to France, and I think that could be a good move for him. However, this is the deal we all want to see. I cannot believe it. Mustafi could genuinely be leaving in the next few days for 30 million euros. I mean, we're almost breaking even on him, which blows my mind. He joined as a World Cup winner, great potential, looked to be a very good signing. He actually started his career at Arsenal pretty damn well. We went unbeaten for so many games with him. But then the real Mustafi came out, especially in the last 12 months. And you know what? You look at his stats and he hasn't done too badly. I think a lot of us are just, including myself, overly harsh on the guy. But the fact is, he's so mistake prone, and the mistakes that he has made have cost us so dearly. I personally think that we are not in the Champions League, mainly because of Mustafi. If you think back to those few games, especially against Crystal Palace, where Zaha got through and scored, and obviously they beat us on the day, if he had just stayed switched on and didn't make that mistake, of course there's so many variables and we could have scored another goal or whatever, but I think a lot of our issues towards the end of the season were defensive, and through this guy, he's got to go. And for 30 million euros, Monaco are getting a bargain, aren't they? Yeah, just take him, please take him. He's such a good defender. What am I on about? I'm really sad to see him go. The Mustafi fan club is going to be so upset that he's no longer at Arsenal. On to the next big deal. This is a big deal. DYBALA apparently has had his agents in Manchester. He's been talking to the new head coach Sarri at Juventus about his playing time. There could be some sort of deal going on in the background, which includes Lukaku. We'll talk about him in a moment. Let's talk about DYBALA. Where is he going to be ending up? If you're Juventus, do you swap Lukaku for DYBALA? No. To me, that seems insane. So, of course, DYBALA linked with Man United, and that, of course, means that Lukaku has been linked with going the other way. And I don't think this deal is right. It's brilliant for Manchester United, 100%. But for Juventus, I don't know why they're even considering this. I don't see Lukaku as a top striker. He can be on his day, but he's so inconsistent. Doesn't make sense to me. I'd be looking for at least 50 mil plus Lukaku for DYBALA. I don't see how a swap deal is at all fair, but hey, this is football. Clearly they see something in Lukaku. I think he would do better out in Italy, where it's a bit more physical, a bit more defensive styled game. So I don't know, this could genuinely be happening over the next few days. And this will have a knock-on effect, of course. If Juventus are gaining Lukaku, selling DYBALA, do they need KEAN as well? How's he going to get into the team with Ronaldo, with Lukaku coming in? This could be Everton's best piece of business of the window. And I tell you what, Everton over the years have done very well in transfer windows. I've been impressed with their movements, but this really is exciting. And apparently this would be around 35 to 40 million pounds. So it's not an incredible amount of money. And KEAN certainly has some very, very good ability at such a young age. So with Lukaku going to Juventus, this could mean that DYBALA and KEAN could be going the other way. I mean, I think Juventus have arguably won this transfer window with some of the signings they've made. But this, I think, would undo some of that. I don't see how this is at all viable for them, but what do I know? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And to end this video, I just want to say a massive thank you for the support over the last week. The amount of messages I've been getting, emails, whatever it may be, everyone congratulating me on my wedding. And me and Ellen had a lovely time. We went over to Sweden, had a massive party with all the Swedes. It was a great week, and it was a nice break from YouTube, but I'm ready to get cracking again. Tomorrow, the FM save Newcastle will be back up and running again, so thanks for the patience with that. Hopefully you've been enjoying that over the last week, and I will see you in the next video soon.